Yo, what's up? Bringing you that MLB show 17. So I'm going to show you guys the team epics that we've completed so far. Each team epic works the same. Epic 1 is to play each team twice. Epic 2 is to collect 15 players from that team and do a statistical based mission. Epic 3 is to play the team 3 more times. And then Epic 4 is to collect the whole roster of that team and do another statistical based mission. And then finally, Epic 5 is to exchange players so you can get that final reward. So it's definitely a grind and they do take some time. But the first team I did was the St. Louis Cardinals for Orlando Cepeda, 94 overall Hardware Series player. And the reason I did this team first is because he was a Hardware Series player. And at the time, I was trying to grind out those Ken Griffey Jr. Hardware Series stats. And this was just used to speed up that process. But Epic 2 for this is to tally 15 pitcher strikeouts with Michael Wacha. Not difficult. You just got to get lucky and get him on the mound. And then Epic 4 is to tally 3 home runs with All-Star flashback Carlos Beltran. That's the reward for completing the Cardinals collection. And 3 home runs, not really that difficult. It does take a few games, but overall pretty easy. And then Epic 5, exchange players. For Cepeda, it was kind of expensive. I think it was like 30 or 40,000 points. And the best tip for exchanging players is to get 79 rated bronze players because they have, I feel like, the best value for their stubs. You can normally get 79 rated players for like 30 to 50 stubs, and they offer a good amount of exchange points. But the Cardinals were the first team that I did. The second team that I did was the Miami Marlins for Hardware Series, Hanley Ramirez, 88 overall. And it's pretty much for the same reason as Orlando Cepeda. Got myself another Hardware Series player, so my first 2 epics were Hardware Series players, and it just made it that much easier to complete those Hardware Series stats for Griffey. By the time I actually finished that, I had a whole lineup of Hardware Series player. But for Epic 2, you needed to tally 1 home run with breakout flashback Logan Morrison. 1 home run is easy. I think I did it in my first game. And then Epic 4, tally 25 pitcher strikeouts with breakout flashback Ricky Nolasco. You know, pitcher strikeouts take a while. This took a few games after I got him, but overall, it wasn't that bad. And then the exchange mission for the Marlins, I should have wrote these down, but I don't think it was that expensive. I think it was under 20K, so it was pretty fair for getting a player like Hanley Ramirez. And I should know, I will show you guys the player cards once I go through these teams. So the third team we did was the Oakland Athletics for Josh Donaldson, All-Star Series, 88 overall. Now, Epic 2 for this was to tally 2 walks with Jason Giambi. Walks are difficult to get in general, especially versus the CPU. My best suggestion is to play at the highest difficulty you can. So All-Star is pretty good, or you can play in Conquest where the pitchers are already tired and just try to work the count. So wait till you get 2 strikes before you swing. Another tip for this, and I think I did this once, is either try to get a full count with any player or get a nice favorable count, 3-0 or something like that, and then have Jason Giambi on the bench, bring him in as a pinch hitter, and hope that you get that 1 ball to get the walk. But walks, you just got to be patient. Epic 4 was to tally 3 stolen bases with rookie flashback Billy Burns. Pretty easy pinch runner. You can get it in a game. And then Epic 5, exchanging players. I'm pretty sure this one was pretty cheap. I think it was under 10K. At the very least, I think it was under 15K. But 88 overall is not bad. And this is one of the cheapest collections that you can get. The fourth team that we did was the Philadelphia Phillies for Mike Schmidt, 89 overall Impact Veteran Series player. So Epic 2 was to tally 10 pitcher strikeouts with rookie flashback J.A. Happ. Fairly easy, got that in probably the first 9-inning game I was able to use him in. And then Epic 4 is to tally 20 hits with Impact Veteran legend Kenny Lofton. Now this one did actually take some time. 20 hits with a player is not easy, and I think it took me around like 8 games. I know in my last 2 games, I combined for like 9 hits, so my last 2 I did pretty good, but overall, it did take some time. And then the exchange rate for Schmidt, I think it was pretty cheap. Like I said, I didn't write these down, so I don't really remember them that much, but for the Phillies, I'm pretty sure it was a cheap exchange rate. And then the last team we did was the San Diego Padres for 86 overall Tony Gwynn, breakout series player. So Epic 2 for this card was to tally 2 doubles with Dave Winfield. Doubles are kind of difficult to do. Just pick a big stadium. But Epic 4 for this team was to tally 3 home runs with Impact veteran Willie McCovey. So home runs, like I said before, they just take time. And then Epic 5 for the Padres, the exchange rate was actually pretty expensive. I think he was one of the higher ones that I did out of the 5. I know he was more than the Marlins, the Phillies, and the A's. And he pretty much matched up with the Cardinals. So for some reason, he was expensive. I don't know why. The exchange rates aren't really consistent. I thought, the overall player rating would have an effect in that. But at 86 overall, he was the lowest player we got. And he had one of the highest exchange rates. But now I'm going to show you guys the player stats of these cards. So for 94, Orlando Cepeda, 90 contact versus righties, 98 versus lefties, 95 power versus lefties. So a very good hitter versus lefties. And the 90 vision is very good. So this is a good hitting card, especially versus lefties. The fielding's okay, but he is a first baseman. So I've said this before. I don't feel like fielding matters that much for first basemen. And then speed for a player is pretty average, but I think that's pretty good for a first baseman. Next, we got Hanley Ramirez for the Miami Marlins, 88 overall, 76 contact versus righties, 87 versus lefties. The contact's pretty good, and another player that has good power versus lefties at 86. So another nice hitting card right here, I think. 64 vision is okay, and then the fielding, it's all right. You can play him in multiple positions, which is pretty nice. You can play him at short, first, third, and left field. So you can pick your poison. He definitely has some nice options. And then the speed is great. 94 speed, 79 stealing. Great base runner, I think. So an overall good card, especially for an 88 overall. Next, we have Josh Donaldson, 88 overall, contact versus righties at 53, 69 versus lefties, which is pretty low overall. He has the nice power versus lefties at 99, so maybe a good pinch hitter to have. 62 vision, which is average, I would say. 85 discipline and 84 clutch. That's pretty much the best thing about these cards is that clutch. And then the fielding is pretty good. A third baseman right here, 84 fielding. I'll take that. Next, we have Mike Schmidt, 89 overall. So he has 65 contact versus righties, 72 versus lefties. That's all right. Not the best numbers right there. I mean, it's pretty average. But 91 power versus righties, so that's pretty good. And he's a right-handed hitter, so you don't really see that much, the 91 power versus righties. And then 75 versus lefties. So he has pretty good power numbers. The 65 vision is okay. 92 discipline. And then for fielding, for some reason, you see his card. It shows third base on it. But for some reason, his primary position is first base. But you can definitely play him at third. The fielding stats are pretty good, I would say, for a third baseman. I think 80 is like the minimum you should be looking at for those kinds of positions and just overall. But I feel like this is a good card. I would pick this card over the Donaldson. Overall, I just feel like it's better. And then finally, we have Tony Gwynn, 86 overall. He has 99 contact versus righties, 90 versus lefties. Woo! That's nice right there. Very nice contact numbers. No power, but that's not the type of player he is. And 99 vision. So this might be a hitting machine card. I haven't used it yet. 87 clutch, that's pretty good. And then the hitting stats, I would say, are pretty nice for an outfielder. 82 fielding, 87 strength, and then 90 speed. He's a pretty good outfielder. This actually might be an underrated card for an 86 overall. This looks like a pretty nice card, so definitely will be trying this one out. So those are the 5 team epics that I've completed so far. I'm already working on my next batch. I have 3 more teams that I've completed or collected, and that's the Twins, the White Sox, and the Braves. So maybe in the next week or 2, I'll have those completed, and maybe we'll add a 4th team in there. My best tip for you guys is to play the 2 games first for every team, because you get the 15 players and you can just do multiple epics at one time. I feel like that's the best way. My whole squad was of players that involved epic missions. So if I got a player, I would just exchange them for a new player because I always had someone fresh coming in. And I wasn't really worried if I didn't complete that mission in that game because I always had another player doing missions. So I was always completing a mission at a time, whether it was one that I was actually going after or not. So that's my best tip for you guys. Play those 2 games first for every team or most of the teams. Get Epics 1 and 2 done for all those teams first, and then start going after certain teams for their Epic 3 and Epic 4 and stuff like that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'm out.